Well, good afternoon, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. This is a double dip day, second live stream of the day. The first one was pretty much just a waste of time. I probably could have just gotten the live stream from last year, kind of played the same thing. Same old song and dance from Jerry Jones. You know, we're here, we're working hard, and, you know, I'm just tired of it. And, of course, now it's time for the Dan Selio show. So after being bored to death and lied to, now it's time for me to get bitch slapped. Always a riot. Love it, Mark. Get him. Before we get into it, let's take care of my good buddies with Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code JOBO. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
You know, I should have set the stream up so I was sitting on the couch. That's what I really should have done. And then it would have been funnier, I think. So let me go ahead and get into the studio and hear what they're talking about.
Man.
Oh my God. No wonder Mark Holmes has a fun time covering that team,
Oh my God. You hit him with the I control Venezuela. Oh man.
I control Venezuela.
I thought it was actually a fair comment. I mean, hey,
Venezuela.
when the Eagles were hiring a coordinator, it wasn't all Nick Sirianni.
No.
Oh,
You don't think Nick hired Vic, right?
Well, they probably all wanted Vic because who doesn't want Vic? But no, the organizations wanted Vic for a long time.
Man, yeah. Yeah. I control
I don't know what the exact. It was something to that effect.
Dude, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
That is.
I'll read you the exact quote.
Do you think Dan Quinn's on the you think you said yes, right? You think Dan Quinn, you think Washington?
Yeah, I do. I would have probably moved on from him, but I get why they didn't. Yeah, look, he says Trump just said it. I'm running Venezuela. Listen to that. Gary's so funny.
Coordinator who was shot down to get to hire his own coordinator.
Trump just said it. I'm running.
I'm running
Venezuela.
I know who asked that. That must. Hey, was that Hill that asked that
part about
question?
it is Steven and Shadi are sitting right next to him, and both of them just start belly laughing.
Shit's not funny. Shit's not funny, y'all.
We'll see. Where do you think Harbaugh lands?
I think he lands in Tampa.
You don't think there could be a switcheroo in the AFC, do you? In the AFC North,
I asked someone that this morning. Like, tell me who gets the Baltimore job?
Stefanski.
No, Tomlin.
Oh, so I was thinking Baltimore Cleveland switcheroo.
Oh,
You're thinking Baltimore Pittsburgh switcheroo. That would be crazy. No, that can't happen.
I mean, okay.
Dude,
so,
you know what? If Lamar Jackson couldn't handle Harbaugh, he don't want to be coached by Mike Tomlin.
yeah. Hey, son, sit your ass down. We don't sit around here moving practice for you.
Yeah, fucking in the afternoon because you don't want to get your ass up in the morning.
Who gets that Baltimore gig?
That's gonna be a good.
Stefanski?
I think Stefanski.
You think Belichick or Gruden are in any conversations on any of these jobs?
Gotta think, right? A lot of openings and not a lot of candidates.
Clint Kubiak's going to get a job. Do we agree?
I would think so.
Okay. Clint Kubiak is now. How far do they go in the postseason is going to be what kind of job.
Yeah, if they get bounced, maybe not.
Yeah, right. Because then you're talking going late, and you're talking.
I don't know. Still would probably be a good option.
I heard this. I heard that Stefanski went out to dinner last night with John Mara and the upper brass with Joe Schoen and all them guys. And I heard Stefanski goes, is John Harbaugh coming in for dinner too? He goes, yeah, he's in the morning. And I'm like, okay. So they're interviewing John Harbaugh today as we speak to the Giants. So they're going to get either Stefanski or they're going to get John Harbaugh for Jackson Dart. My question would be, if I'm John Harbaugh, do I want Jackson Dart as my guy?
No, I'm not a Jackson Dart guy. I've been saying this. I said I sounded the gong yesterday. I'm out on Darty. I'm out on Dart.
Would you make a trade for Mac Jones?
Dart stinks. That's what I'm doing. Who? The Giants?
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're not. They're going to stick with Dart for a little bit.
Well, I learned one lesson after watching Minnesota. You better have a B plan when you're an organization that's going to go on a rookie quarterback.
Dude,
Minnesota shit the bed on that.
Minnesota had 3 other options that they could have made that all
3 other, and they would have been in the playoffs.
Aaron Rodgers wanted to play.
They went 9-8.
They had Darnold, and who else did they have?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. They could have gone with any of those guys.
No. Daniel Jones. Excuse me.
Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones. Yeah.
If you're Indianapolis, do you extend him?
Who?
Daniel Jones.
No, you don't. He's not going to be ready.
I think they probably will. What injury did he get? Was his
ACL? Blew his knee out.
I can't remember. I don't remember what he injured. What was it? His knee? Daniel Jones injury. Daniel Jones.
Ooh,
Daniel Jones
he tore his Achilles, bro.
Oh,
well, that's going to go into training camp.
Yeah, at least.
What do you do with Deshaun Watson in Washington, Cleveland?
I don't know.
Can't do anything. Guaranteed.
Cut him.
Cut him? Cut him.
What are you going to do? The guy's got signed 4 years ago. He hasn't done shit.
You're cutting a guaranteed $230 million contract.
Oh, that's over. It's now. It's not $230 anymore. That was when they signed the deal. That was 4 years ago.
yeah, but they kept restructuring it.
How many years has he been?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, $230. Z. There's still about $100 and some odd million left on that cap hit.
All right. Well, the dude's a stiff. I don't know what you want from me. Not only
there's
he
nothing.
didn't only go to the massage parlor to get massaged. He went there to get his powers taken away, man. I don't know what the hell you want from me. The guy in his Browns career, he's got 12 total touchdowns since he signed that contract.
You got to keep him. You got to keep that stiff.
He's a total stiff. I liked Watson too.
Hey, me too.
He was great. Played in 19 total games in 3 years with Cleveland.
Hey, can you believe that Houston is where they are now after getting rid of him, and where they are now? They're in a position to potentially get to the AFC Championship game.
Let's see.
Oh, how about this? Well, one thing I will say: who's the best team in Texas?
Oh, fuck you!
Not Dallas Cowboys.
Fuck you! Fuck
Not
you!
even close. That Texans defense nasty.
Fuck you, Sills.
All right, good shit. Wait, let me make sure we got these supers. I think we only got one. Here's my star. Who needs Phillips? We got Uche and Ojulari. Wait, I'd be curious if you asked Philly, those 3 guys on the defensive line, who would he want to pay first? Carter, Davis, and Phillips. Well, Philly, I'll tell you, my order is Carter, Davis 2, and Phillips, because I believe we need to keep the interior of the D-line together. Now, I understand Phillips is very valuable, but I don't know. That's a lot of cash on that D-line. I don't know how much they're going to pay.
We will ask the Z question here with our friends.
All right, brother,
Z,
appreciate you.
we will catch you in the morning on Birds 365. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, you already.
That is our friend Xander Kraus. Please hit the like button for Big Z. All right. Without further ado, one of the best, and I mean the best, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, content creators, and one of the absolute GOATs that we have come on this program all the time. He is our friend, the legendary Mark Holmes and Philly.500. They join us now here, as they always do. And these guys are spectacular.
Oh, Mark, you little cold on the couch over there, buddy. I got a blanket for you today. Stay warm. Stay warm on that couch. Them
I'm
Cowboys
actually
gotta
curious,
stay
though.
warm.
Oh no, there's plenty of company on the couch right now. We got
You're gonna
the
watch a real
Commanders.
team.
We
You're
got
gonna
the
be watching
Commanders and the
real
Giants there
teams.
with us. But I'm curious. So Philly, where do you watch your games? You don't sit on the sofa?
I don't sit. We're playing.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
but
we're playing.
you stand the whole game? You don't sit on the sofa?
Sometimes, yeah. No, sometimes I don't sit on a sofa. No, I have a chair.
All right.
I'm usually streaming, and if I'm not sitting, I'm usually pacing.
Do you have a
plenty
beer
of
in your
video
hand?
of me? No,
No?
I do not.
do
Nah,
not?
you know, the older I get, the less I like alcohol. I don't know what it is.
I'm
It's
like
like
Good for
I just,
you.
I don't know. I'll have some beers for the right occasion, but it's like maybe once or twice a year.
I'm with you on that.
It's just it's weird.
Well, the older I get,
the older I get,
the more intoxicated I want to get. So I mean,
you know what it is it's I get headache, like I get raging headaches, even if I have like one beer or if I have a glass of wine with dinner. It's I don't know what it is, but the older I get, the less I want to drink.
Well, I tell you what, the last time I had a whole lot to drink was when Micah Parsons got traded, and I passed the fuck out.
Live on Philly.500's channel.
Literally. Just drinking. Oh, this team sucks. Ah.
hey, bro.
Hey, Mark, you have plenty of stuff on me. Standing up, going, freaking out, throwing my hat. Come on.
Listen,
Mark.
I got to have something, man. Come
Mark,
on.
that was one of the greatest lines. Xander played it for me today with Jerry Jones.
I run
Venezuela when he was asked, who are you hiring in the next coordinator, man? I mean, hey, well, let me start it with you here. Give me a 2025 year-end synopsis of your football team and what you did this year.
We didn't bust a grape. I mean, at least not on defense. Okay, people will go through and say, I know Philly.500, he's got to stand the thing. Dak choked. But when you give up 511 points, and when you look at the top 10 of teams that have given up points worse than the NFL, none of them have a winning record, and most of them only have like 2 wins. And when you can't take away the football, we averaged, I think, 0.7 takeaways a game. The only team that was really worse was the Jets, who couldn't get a freaking interception. And you can't expect to get rid of your best player a week before the season and just think we can just grab some guys and throw them together and have a defense. So I don't know that anything changes. We listened to the press conference, which is an hour and 15 minutes of my life I can't get back. And it seems like everyone I've heard for the last 15 years.
Well, you did win the NFC East, at least when you're talking about having the best record in the East. No, nothing.
Yeah.
You were 4-2 in the East. The Eagles split.
Buy a
with
shirt.
everybody.
You should make that shirt, Mark.
Yeah.
Great NFC East record.
We run the East. Yeah, that's it. We run the
Celebrate.
NFC East.
What a lose. That's loser talk, man.
It is. Absolutely. Nobody wants to have the hat and T-shirt. You want to have the parade. So, Philly, I'm going to start it out with a Big Z question here, man. If you're going to sign somebody this coming off season, you go in Phillips, you go in Davis, more money, or you go in Carter first. Give me the line of how he's going to put this in priority.
This is what I would do. I think this is what the Eagles are going to do. I think you have to do this, and it has to be Jalen Carter 1, Jordan Davis 2, and then Jalen Phillips 3. You cannot afford to lose a Jordan Davis. From everything, from what he's done this year.
He's had a really good year. Really good year.
Right. But if you watch like that Hard Knocks, one of the things that really came out in that Hard Knocks, especially yesterday's episode, was he is like a leader on that team. He is almost like personality-wise in the locker room. I see him as Brandon Graham. And I just don't think you can let a guy like that go. He's got to stay. So, yeah, they're both those guys. And if I can't get Phillips, you know what? I'll have to figure something else out. But I like the way Jalen Hunt is developing. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. He's playing great. How about Mark? Would you make a play because now you have assets because of the Parsons deal? Would you go after Max Crosby? Seems that he's available now. Would you use
if you can get
some of the
him for
equity
a
that you
first?
have to put on the line there with Quinn and Williams?
Absolutely. Because here's, Jerry Jones loves his draft picks, and I get that. Now, contrary to what Philly.500 is going to say, I look at what Dak Prescott did this year. To me, that says you got 2 or 3 years where you're going to be able to have him, and you're going to have to start all over. And if I can get that kind of play out of next year, and this year he's going into the offseason healthy, I've got to try and win right now. And saying I'm going to take a first-round pick, gamble, and trying to get somebody in the first round as an edge rusher, or take Max Crosby and look at him and say he's just signed a contract for $35 million a year. That's a better move to me, even if you have to give up some more draft capital for the following year. And if you can say you got Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, and Max Crosby for Micah, bro, that's a win.
How about for you, Philly? If you can't sign, I asked Xander, and he hated the idea, but if you can't sign a guy like Jalen Phillips, by the way, he's represented by Drew Rosenhaus, so he's going to command high-end money. Would you be open to having somebody or a conversation? I don't believe it's going to be 2 1s. I think it's a 1 and maybe a 3. Look at what Brian Burns went for. Brian Burns had the second most sacks in the NFL this year. So, I mean, would that be something you'd be open to? Like
to
having
go after Max Crosby? Yeah. I'm all for just loading up on that defensive line. Max Crosby had a podcast about a month ago. Well, a few weeks ago, and he kind of hinted that he would love to play for the Eagles. So maybe he was throwing something out there. Keep an eye on it, but not at the expense of extending Carter Davis. That is priority over, that.
Matt Eberflus, would you be open to having somebody like a Raheem Morse take over the defense? And here with Raheem won a Super Bowl as the coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. And again, I mean, he was the Rams coordinator there when they won the Super Bowl. Remember, he's not a great head coach. No one's ever going to put that next to his name. And by the way, he did tie for the lead in the AFC South with those other horrible 2 teams. All that being said, I mean, where do you go defensively when it comes to coordinator on Dallas? Because let's be candid here, dude. The last 3 years, the Dallas Cowboys defensive front 7, now that you've addressed it with Williams a little bit, but still there's a lot of work to be done. And it must kill you to see what's going on with your ex-Cowboy in Seattle and what he's doing up there.
He was our defensive line coach. He was right here, and they didn't give him a chance. Now, I had always liked Al Harris, but Al Harris is not going to be a possibility because him and Brian Schottenheimer don't get along because Al Harris lets the guys get away with a lot. And, allegedly culture is the key here, and Brian Schottenheimer believes that getting rid of Diggs and getting rid of Micah Parsons kind of changes the culture of guys that are buying in. Brian Flores is supposedly one of the hot candidates, but with 7 openings out there, he may end up becoming a head coach, which might help that lawsuit kind of go away. Raheem Morris, I would love to have Raheem Morris. He was an incredible defensive coordinator. And you mentioned Durden. I don't know for Durden if you want to leave Seattle right now being a number 1 seed and stuff to come to Dallas for a shitstorm. Now, if Brian Flores does not get a head coaching job, I would say that the Cowboys would be the best opportunity because you look at it and you say, I've got an offense. I don't necessarily have to do a lot.
And his contract is up, by the way.
His contract is up. And I'm going to definitely get a lot of publicity that's the launching pad to get that next job. If you're the Cowboys, to me, that makes a lot of sense because if he does come here and gets a head coaching job, you're talking about 2 third-round comp picks because he's a minority candidate.
I love that. I mean, I really do. All right, so in the press
I have a better name.
Tell me.
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon wouldn't be bad either.
You can take that mother humper. We'll send it to you. I'll tell you the name that I don't like.
You dismiss he helped you get to a Super Bowl in 22?
I just don't like him. I don't like that he was sitting there.
He's kind of like a Lane Kiffin, like where he only cares about
because he came out and he said, I'm not going to take a head coaching job. And then Vic went to Miami. We could have had him a year early. And then he was out there house shopping instead of getting ready. And the defense stunk in that Super Bowl. So I hate him with a passion. Okay. So he belongs in Dallas. But there's rumors that the Cowboys may be interested in Clint Hurt. I have a huge problem with that. Mm-hmm. I do not want him going to Dallas. I want to retain him.
Here's the problem that you have retaining him.
I know.
You've already named Jeff Stoutland your assistant head football coach. You know how you keep people away? Because here's a rule, Philly. If you're under contract, you cannot make lateral moves while you're under contract. So what a lot of organizations do, they'll go the assistant head football coach, and they'll add that, which makes it even tougher to hire that guy, which means your next job has to be a head coach. I've been told by numerous people that Clint Hurt is a superstar in the organization. Him and Bobby King, they don't want to, and Christian Parker, they don't want to let go of that. Now, if you lose Christian Parker, remember something. Raheem Morris was the secondary coach in Tampa with Tony Dungy, and he took over for Mike Tomlin in that secondary. That wouldn't be a bad addition to having a guy like that back there with a Super Bowl ring.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know the answer to this, but what if the Eagles went to Clint Hurt or Christian Park, one of them, and said, look, we want you to stay. We're going to pay you more money, and we want you to be the eventual replacement to Vic Fangio. So do you think that's something one of those guys would think about doing?
Okay, here's what happened in Tampa a couple years ago with Liam Cohn. So they wanted to give Liam Cohn $6 million a year to be the offensive coordinator because they wanted him to be the heir apparent because they knew he was a talented guy, and they wanted him to become the next head coach of the Buccaneers eventually after they moved on from Todd. Well, he all of a sudden shows up in Jacksonville that morning, and he ends up getting the head coaching job. So, I mean, you would have to really be a significant – he'd have to be the highest paid – now, look, if they win the Super Bowl and Vic, again, is going to pass it off the baton to him, and that's the next guy in line, I think Clint would stay there because he sees the two talented young defensive tackles that he has.
I love the way he's developed those guys. The defensive, I mean, Carter, Davis, and even Jalen, like watching him in the inside the Hard Knocks, I just want to keep him. So
I've known him since he was 17 years old, and he's a heck of a guy. He's a hot commodity. I could see him being a New York Giants defensive coordinator. I mean, I could see John Harbaugh getting that job and making Clint Hurt the defensive coordinator in New York with that group that they have there. Because remember, too, that group in that front seven that the Giants have, that's a pretty damn good group, too. So
it is. Yeah.
All right. So Lane Johnson potentially coming back. What do you make of that? He looks like he's going to play on Sunday. Now, the question I have for you is, isn't it more important if he can last?
Yeah. And I was going to say that. Like, I'm great with him coming back. Our record with him in the lineup is so much better when it's out. But if he's like 65, 70% and we could wait a week, I'd like to do that. You know what I mean? I want to make sure when he comes back, he's ready to go. If he's ready to go this week, then great. But, we got to see.
Pickens, what are you going to do with him, Mark? I mean, are you just going to let him become a free agent? Is he going to roll out, or are you going to sign him?
Well, here's the thing. If you listen to, like I said, an hour and 15 minutes of Jerry Jones, my brain still hasn't recovered. Pickens is a key guy. Between Pickens and Clowney, they showed a whole lot of love and desire on it. The last part in there, that they said, we're going to try and get him signed or tagged. So they kind of threw that in there. I'm not sure the tag is going to be what Pickens wants, but he is definitely a priority for them this offseason. And as far as interviewing coordinators, they haven't made any calls just yet, even though they have fired Everfluss on who they want to have. So they're having their exit meetings with coaches tomorrow. So we'll see who's going to be retained. For all we know, it might be White Cotton is because Jerry Jones likes to hire from within. White Cotton might end up being the defensive coordinator.
I want you to do me a favor, Mark.
What's that?
I want you to rank me the greatest Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks in franchise history.
You're trying to piss me off.
I want you to rank the best quarterback, not based on rings.
Right, because we wouldn't want to think about winning as mattering at all, right? Okay,
because winning is a team accomplishment; it's not an individual accomplishment.
It is.
Roger Staubach.
Staubach?
Troy Aikman.
Aikman.
And right now, it's a toss-up between Danny White, Tony Romo, and Dak Prescott. Now, depending on what Dak Prescott does the next couple of years, he could move into number 3.
I think Dak's the third best quarterback you've ever had.
I think, like I said, you could take him, Danny White. Danny White got to 3 NFC Championship games.
I'm not talking team accomplishments.
You can't talk about wins.
Danny White was still a good.
You got to put Romo up there over Dak if you're going to talk about.
Would you take Romo or Dak in a game if you had to win a 60-minute ball game?
Are you asking me? I'm taking Dak.
Jeez, I would take Romo in a second.
Okay,
I just wouldn't let him hold. I just wouldn't let him hold the extra point. He might fumble the point.
Who would you take, Philly?
I'd take Romo over Dak.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
If I'm talking about just pure thrower,
talent,
I would take Romo. Yeah, okay, I would take Romo.
Okay, based on pure talent, who you take in a football game? Randall Cunningham or Jalen Hurts?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Randall.
I can't.
Why not? Wait a minute.
Because I can't. I will tell you straight up, I cannot be objective with Randall. Randall's like my all-time favorite quarterback.
Randall,
I would take him over Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana. Like, I don't care. Do you understand? Like, I don't care. It's always Randall. Randall's my guy. But if I had to be honest and say win a playoff game, one game in pressure situation, I think Jalen Hurts is the guy. I mean, if I'm being logical, I think Hurts excels in those moments.
Who would you take if you're going to start a franchise and you got to start from scratch, Randall or Hurts?
Who's my coach?
Randall.
John Harbaugh.
I'd probably take Randall. I can't.
You can't get away from Randall.
I can't be objective about it. I fully admit it. I can't. Randall's like my guy, man.
If Randall played in today's NFL, he'd be Patrick Mahomes.
If Randall had
coach,
he had Andy Reid.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Randall would be, in my opinion, he'd be Patrick Mahomes. All right, so let me ask you this one: what do you have more concerns over going into this playoff game against San Francisco? Do you have the O-line or Kevin Patullo?
Oh, I'm not going to just say Patullo. I'm going to say the coaching staff, the prevent offense.
The offensive coaching staff.
Yeah, look, I'm more scared that the Eagles are going to be up 13-0 than 10-10 or down 7. They scare me more when they're winning because they go into prevent offense. If they keep the pedal to the metal, I think we'll be fine.
Mark, what do you think happens this Sunday with the 49ers and the Eagles?
Are you asking my heart or my head?
Okay. I'm asking whatever you want. You tell me.
I pray that the Eagles die, man. I have to see them crash and burn because for them to rest their starters this past week when they had a chance of moving up, I got to say that don't what. I guess
that I've been fighting people all week on that. I think that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And I hope it comes back to bite you in the ass. Now, San Francisco,
I just think it's stupid.
San Francisco's been biting a lot of injuries and stuff. They can score points, but their defense is not good. So, you could look for the Eagles maybe to score a whole bunch of points in this game and it being a shootout. And they
but where would you think that the Eagles are going to score a lot of points when they don't score a lot of points?
Again, San Francisco's defense has been that bad.
Yeah, but
you know what? I'll say
the Bears are 30th.
You know what? Things can change in the playoffs. Things get weird in the playoffs.
So the whole 5 months, the 5 months of football that
do you remember the Colts' first Super Bowl?
That defense,
right? Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl. That defense was horrible all year. They get into the playoffs and they become they go to work. I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm saying I think it could be better.
That was Tony Dungy's Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were 28th, and they had Bob Sanders back there in and out because he was always banged up
Played
back
lights
there.
out in the playoffs on defense.
I want to get you guys' opinions on this weekend, if you don't mind. Do you mind the playoff games?
No, of course.
Okay, how about this? So the Rams got beat by this Carolina Panther team. I think the Rams are a finesse team. The reason the Panthers are a team that can beat them. They went up to Green Bay, beat the piss out of them. I think they beat you guys too, Mark, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did early on.
Carolina is a very physical team. They're up and down. I don't know. They got to go back to Carolina. First, I'll start with you, Mark. What do you make of this one here? Do you like the Rams or Carolina?
I still got to take the Rams at home. I look for them to rebound. You got the quarterback.
They're not
Matthew
home.
Stafford. I'm sorry.
Rams are on the road.
Excuse me, on the road. I still got to take Matthew Stafford. Quarterback trumps everything.
What about you, Phil?
Wait. He just said. You hear what he just said?
Quarterback trumps everything.
I just want quarterback trumps everything in the play. Okay. No, I just want it out there. I just want your words. I'm not going to argue with that. I got the Rams. It's very hard for me to see that the Panthers are going to sweep the Rams. God, I would love it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Mark, Green Bay, actually Philly, Green Bay and Chicago at Soldier Field, and boy, this is a pretty big game for the next round, if you think about it, right?
Huge game.
If Chicago gets knocked out, all that stuff you just said about the rest of the players,
it takes the coach off the it takes him off the hot seat.
Off the hook. If Chicago wins that game, it puts the coach back in where that now. And hey, Mark, just for your knowledge, the Eagles in the Sirianni era, outside of the neutral site Super Bowl, they've never won a road game in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they've never won a game in the postseason on the road. Who do you like here, Philly?
I'm going to go with Chicago. I think that the Packers are beat up, and the only thing I'll say that I put in the Packers on their side, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So I think they got that going for them, but I still think Chicago is going to win this game.
How about
I think that running game.
The Bears are who we thought they were. Okay. Malik Willis is limited in practice. Jordan Love is not quite there, and he may have to play. They're just beat up, and they're on the road in Chicago. I think the Bears are going to get this one.
Is that a fact? You know, I've been hearing people give me that in and out where, like, Love may not play in this game.
See, that's what I keep hearing too, but I haven't seen anything on that. But people have said that to me as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Let's go into the Sunday games here. I'm going to tell you guys, Buffalo Bills heading into Jacksonville. I'm sorry, man. I think the Jags upset Buffalo here.
Oh, man. And
I think they win that football game, Mark. What do you think?
I think the Bills are going to get that one. I'm going to go back to my original statement. I think Josh Allen is on a different level than Trevor Lawrence. I know Trevor Lawrence has played well the last few games and things, but I'm going to take Buffalo on that one.
What do you got, Philly?
You really gonna mess Mark up if Lawrence goes and wins another playoff game, boy? I tell you that. I'm going with the Bills. I feel like that. I first of all, I think the AFC is the hardest. I think it's even harder to figure out what's going to happen. But I think this has got to be for Allen. If you're a Bills fan, Josh Allen, this is your time right now.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go with the Bills.
I'm gonna wait for San Fran and Philly to the end here. How about this one here, Philly? Chargers at Gillette in Foxborough. Who do you like here?
All right, here's my upset of the week.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why, but I just keep hearing his voice, Chargers. And to me, Herbert has Dak-itis, right, in the playoffs. He hasn't been good. I just feel like, I don't know. I just got a feeling they're going to win. I'm going to go the Chargers in the upset. That's going to be my upset of the week.
So wait a minute. What do you take for Dak-itis? What, is there anything you can
animal.
take?
You take a trip to Cancun.
Okay.
You go to Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
You take a trip and you get feeling better in Cancun. All right. What do you got here, Mark? Chargers or Patriots?
Cold weather team versus a dome stadium team from Cali.
Yeah, I know.
Going across the country, you got to take New England.
I know. I agree. That's the logical play, but I just got this weird feeling about that game. I don't know why. I do.
I'll tell you this. I got a crazy feeling about this Texans team going pretty far with that defense in the postseason. Mark, what do you like here, man? Houston versus the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take the Texans on that one. I think that, I'm with you. That defense of theirs is lights out.
I'm with you. What do you got, Philly?
I'm going Steelers. I think Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, playoff magic, maybe a little bit left in the tank. And I agree with you on the Texans defense, but I don't know. Stroud, he's going to have to prove himself. And that offense going to have to prove themselves. And, it's hard to play in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to say Pittsburgh's going to win that game.
All right, Philly. 49ers, San Francisco, and I want to score. What do you think?
Of course, I think the Eagles are going to win. I think that this game, the offense is actually going to be better than we've seen all year. And I'm going to say that because I think one of the things they're going to do is I think we're going to see a lot more RPOs, and I think we're going to see Hurts run a lot more. And I think it's going to open up that run game. So I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win this game 27-17.
Okay. What do you got, Mark?
I'm actually going to take the 49ers because I hate the Eagles. But I don't think the weather will be a factor because it's going to be in the 50s on Sunday. So the weather's going to be good.
That's true.
And so that won't slow down San Francisco too much there.
Who has a better game, Mark? Purdy or Hurts?
Purdy.
You think Purdy throws for 300 yards in this game?
They're going to have to.
Good luck. Good luck. No, I think Hurts is going to have a monster game.
I think the only team, Philly, to have a 300-yard passing game against the Eagles was Dak Prescott. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, when you play prevent offense and you keep your defense on the field for a whole half, that's what happens. But you know what? I think this. You know who I think's really going to be big in the playoffs? I think Jalen Hunt and Jordan Davis. I think those guys are going to be huge difference makers. If you remember last year, Jalen Hunt and Jordan Davis both kind of came on in the playoffs last year. That's when it started. So the Eagles are going to beat the 40 Whiners. The Whiners. They're such babies, the Whiners.
Hey, Mark.
So I got the Eagles.
How disappointing is it that, when's the last time you guys talked playoff football?
Stay warm on the couch.
Mark, give me a sense.
Hold on.
Give me a sense of Cowboy fans.
This is our time to shine, man. It's the new hope, man. It's the Dallas Cowboys looking at a new defensive coordinator. We're talking about going out in free agency. This is the time to shine. This is the time where people are really paying attention as opposed to when the rubber hits the road.
We are going to see
it sucks.
The greatest Mark Holmes meltdown this offseason. This is my prediction. The Cowboys are going to trade Dak Prescott and shock everybody.
Okay.
This offseason.
And they're going to go after Joe Burrow?
I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they're going to trade him.
Hey, Mark, would you trade Dak for Burrow?
The problem with Burrow is can't stay healthy. That would be my bigger concern with him because he's not durable. And he's had a lot of injuries in his short career. So
who would you rather have, no. Mayfield or Dak?
Dak. Mayfield is
How
up and down.
How about you, Philly?
Oh, Mayfield. I've seen him win playoff games.
You'd want a ham sandwich over Dak. Let's be clear here. There's
there's
nobody you'd want Dak
depends.
over. I mean, you take Dak over.
I would take Dak over some players. That's not true.
Philly, do you think Dak was the top 10 quarterback this year?
Yeah, I do. My argument with Dak is never his statistics in the regular season. Mine are always
his wins against Philly.
Mine are always when you need that play, when you need that drive, when it's big moment. He doesn't come up for you, and he doesn't seem to care. I've never seen a guy so happy to walk off a field after a loss.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to do one last thing with you guys, if you don't mind. A couple seconds here. Then I'm going to ask Philly this. Mark, I'm going to give you. So he just said Jalen Hurts is big, and you agree with that, right, Mark? Or Philly, that you think that Jalen plays big in playoff moments, right?
In the bigger the moment, he does, yeah.
Okay, Mark, tell me what you think of this. Here's Jalen Hurts' first playoff game. 23 of 43, 258, 53 completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. What do you make of that game? What would you give that grade?
Not real good. Did they get the win? That's all that counts.
They didn't.
No, we didn't.
You didn't.
How about
Okay.
this one here? By the way, I'm not just doing the bad. I'm doing the good. The next one against the Giants, 16-24 for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was in the divisional game in 2023. What do you make of that game? 154 yards and 2 TDs, 16-24.
You didn't put your team in trouble by any turnovers. 2 TDs.
Okay.
And because you didn't pass that many times, then you probably were balanced and won the game because you weren't chasing somebody where you had to throw.
Blowout. It was a blowout. Tell them you have the score. Tell them the score because I think that
I'm
also
talking about individual play here. I'm talking about but you're
what
right.
I'm saying.
That's context. That's context.
Yeah, because you're in the playoffs, guys that throw 40 times a game are usually losing.
No,
They're not.
I'm not ripping anybody here. I'm just talking about his individual play in the game. I'm not ripping anybody. There's not a rip.
Okay.
In the NFC title game, this was the Reddick destruction game. He was 15-25 for 120 yards and 60% completion percentage with no touchdowns in the NFC title game. What do you make of that game?
Didn't put his team behind by throwing any interceptions. They probably were able to run the football.
I think this is the best game he's ever played in his entire career. Was the Super Bowl in Arizona where he was 27-38 for 304 and a touchdown. He was like 70% completion percentage. And if it wasn't for the scoop and score, it's probably an A-plus game. Do you not agree?
Yeah.
Right, Philly? Probably an A-plus game if it's not, because it's probably a win, right?
I believe if they kick the field goal there, he's going down and winning that game.
Yeah, I agree. Following year, wild card, Tampa, 25-35, no A.J. Brown, 250. After I look back at that game where he had a touchdown, nothing was going right for the entire team. But I don't really think he played all that bad. 70% completion percentage.
I thought he was horrible. I think that was I think that game was horrible, but it wasn't just him. It was the whole team. They just looked like they were done.
Okay, that's fair. The following season, obviously the Super Bowl year now. Green Bay, check this out. He's 13-21 for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns in that ball game. What do you make of that game? What do you think of that game, Mark?
Pretty good.
Philly, what do you make of that?
I thought he was pretty good. Remember, he had missed 4 or 5 weeks with a concussion. And I don't even think he practiced much leading up. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
remember Washington?
That's right.
Yes. And so he didn't even – I don't even think he practiced that much.
Pickett and McKee played at the end of the year. That's right.
And so I thought he kind of came in cold. So I thought he was fine.
Okay. How about this one here? Sacked 7 times in the ball game by the Rams. He was 15-20 for 120 yards and no touchdowns. What do you make of that game?
He rushed for a touchdown, though.
Okay.
Big rushing touchdown.
Okay.
And also, I would say that I think we got to remember it started snowing in that second half, and he hurt himself.
Barkley went for 200 yards in that game.
Yeah, and he hurt his leg. Remember, second half, he hurt his leg, so he wasn't moving well.
Ripping. I'm just talking.
No, I know. I'm just telling you what I remember from it, and it was snowing, and I don't think that helped him.
Okay. Now here's the NFC title game, 20-28, 70% completion percentage, no sacks too. He's 248 and a touchdown in the ball game. I think he's exceptional in that game.
I agree.
Then the Super Bowl, I actually think he may have played even better in the NFC title game. 17-22 for 220 yards and 2 TDs and a pick in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. How do you think he played in that game?
MVP. Yeah.
Okay.
He played great.
So let me ask you this, Mark. After what I just said, that's his resume.
Are we going to do Dax now? Because I want to hear his.
How about this one? Okay, so
I want to hear his Super Bowl stats.
Let me ask you then this one: 24 of 38, right? 302 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, a 103 rating.
Where? What game?
Green Bay and Dallas. His rookie year.
You mean, yeah? Well, of course he had it. So he was behind.
I'm just talking about what a guy's done in the playoffs here. I mean,
and that was in the playoffs, unfortunately, in the loss. 3 TDs, 1 interception, and 103 rating. So
I know, but I think the context of that is that he was getting crushed, Mark. Of course he's going to. The one thing that
34-31. How is that getting crushed?
And Sills. Here's one thing I noticed.
Whoa. Back it up. They drove down the field, took the lead, and left 40 seconds on the clock.
What game are we talking about? You're talking about the Green Bay game where you.
No, Green Bay and Dallas, his rookie year. You always say he's a choker.
Okay, you're talking about the rookie year game. You're not talking about the game that was 24-0.
That's one of those losses on there.
But you played Green Bay twice in the playoffs. You got to tell me what you want exactly.
I said in 2016. Well, no, I just gave you the statistics. 24 of 38, 302 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, 73 QBR, and a 103 rating. But it's a loss, and that's where Dak's a choker. He stinks, right?
Okay, but that was 2016. What about 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020? Well, let's talk about the Green Bay game. Let's talk about the Packer game where it was 21-0.
How about we talk about the Tampa Bay game? How about we talk about the Seattle
Let's talk about the 49ers game where you go down both those times. You go down big, and then he's trying to throw to get you back in.
Dak certainly didn't have anybody rushing for 200 yards and didn't have an offensive line that kept him from getting sacked.
You can blame everybody else, but you gotta accept the responsibility that he has to show up.
Let me ask you one thing about winning and losing. Do you think that's a quarterback stat, or do you think that's a team stat?
I think it's of course winning is ultimately a team game, right? But you can't sit there and deny that every other quarterback is held to this standard. So I'm going to hold Dak to that same standard and not make excuses for him. That's what I'm saying. Dak didn't have to run a quarterback sneak with no time left and timeouts. He didn't have to do that.
So Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, all these guys, they're not in the Super Bowl winners either.
They're all, to me, they're all the same Dakitis. Do you understand? They got to go prove
basically,
I will say this: Josh Allen
there's
showed
Pat Mahomes, and there's Jalen Hurts, and then there's everybody else. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I don't hold Josh Allen in that. I don't hold Josh Allen as that, and here's why. I watched one of the most amazing playoff games where that guy went in overtime and gave his team the lead in Kansas City, and he lost. I can't hold that against him, But I think Herbert is there. I think Trevor Lawrence, he had that great comeback, but I think it's a fair question for him. I think it's a fair question for all these guys. And I think they all get shit, but Dak don't.
Well, wait a minute here. He talks about winning. Let me ask you this, Mark, about a guy like a Sam Darnold. The last 2 years, he's 28-6 with 2 different football teams. Mm-hmm. Last year, he shit the bed at the end of the year against Detroit. All of a sudden, this year, his team won. And they won the number 1 overall seed, and they won the West. That was his second opportunity.
Yeah.
This is only going to be his second playoff game that he's ever been in. Obviously, last year was a train wreck. Probably ruined his chances of staying in Minnesota a year ago. All that being said, do you trust him in the playoffs in Seattle with the number 1 overall seed?
I'm going to say, here's the advantage that he has over
He's
everybody else.
28-6.
I hear you on that. But here's the advantage that you have. When you play in Seattle, when those fans are going, it's like being inside a fucking jet engine.
It is. It's like a college stadium.
I shit you not, because they told me before I went to that game, get some fucking earplugs. I'm sitting beside my wife, and I am screaming at the top of my lungs, and she can't hear me. So that is an advantage that will definitely help them out a bit there.
What do you say, Philly? I mean, 28-6, man. Oh, get this. Two different teams.
Got to prove it in the playoff now, man.
That's true.
Now they got to go prove it. And you know what? I'm going to tell you honestly, Sills, I think that team is I think they're pretty tough. And if the Eagles have to go in there, that's going to be a really tough game because we have a problem playing in Seattle. But I think the Rams are going to go in there and beat them.
The last time I think the Eagles.
They almost won the last time, the Rams.
I think, right? Am I not mistaken? The last time you guys won in Seattle's like 2008?
I think 2001.
2001, really?
The last game I remember winning in Seattle was 2001, and the only reason I remember that was because I think it was the first game after the whole 9/11 thing. But otherwise, I don't remember. I mean, we might have won in 2008. I just don't remember.
Last one, guys. I'll ask you, Mark. Who comes out of the West? Who comes out of the AFC?
God, everything is so even. I'm going to actually
let me put this in perspective.
I believe in the Bills this year.
Let me put this in here. You got Bo Nix, Drake May, you've got Trevor Lawrence, you've got C.J. Stroud, and then you start to go with Rodgers, Allen, and Herbert. Mm-hmm. I mean, the collection of guys. There's no Lamars, there's no Mahomes, there's no Burrow, there's none of those guys in there to kind of have roadblocks. Who comes out of the AFC?
Still go back to the quarterback. I think it's going to be the Bills.
How about you, Philly?
Yeah, it's really tough because I don't know. You could tell me pretty much almost every team, but maybe Pittsburgh. I'll tell you, I think could go. You know what? I'm going to agree with Mark. I'm going to say this has got to be Josh Allen's time. Mm-hmm. It does. And if we take him off, I'll say Denver because I like their defense. But I'm going to say with the young quarterbacks and the inexperience in the playoffs, I'm going to say this has got to be Josh Allen's time to make his move.
Hey, can you guys think of this for just a second? Oh. Bills Mafia and the Eagle fan base in a Super Bowl in Santa Clara.
That'd be ugly.
Mark's going to be losing his mind if the Eagles are back in the Super Bowl.
Mark, if they win the Super Bowl, what happens, bro?
Oh, Lordy. My channel goes dark for a while. I just go in hiding. Okay.
How many videos today did you do?
3, maybe. I mean, I had to live stream.
I'd make 5 off that one. I run Venezuela.
Okay. I had to do the press conference, so this is my second live stream of the day. And
I did do one. I did a live stream this morning, and I have a video later, so I do have 2. So that's like my max for the day usually.
Philly, you guys. I can't wait to this weekend, man, to see how the playoffs roll out.
It's going to be awesome, Sills. I can't wait, man.
Me too, guys. Mark,
hey, Sills.
Mark.
Sills, I want to ask you something, though. Seriously. When it comes to playoffs, don't you find it interesting, though? I'm not going after you, Dak. Your Dak's off the hook. He's in Cancun. But don't you find it interesting that all these statistics, these quarterbacks come out, they throw 30, 40 times a game, all their numbers drop. They always drop. They look more like, if you look at playoff statistics, the teams that win, their quarterback stats look more like Jalen Hurts than Jalen Hurts looks like them in the season. So I think we're built for this, man.
Well, I think we're built for this. Take a look at Peyton Manning's postseason numbers compared to his regular season numbers. I mean, there's very few quarterbacks that numbers elevate because there's better defenses. You're going against better defenses. And by the way, this year, I would say that there were better defensive coordinators this year in the game than there were offensive coordinators. Now, I think the job that Kyle Shanahan did, I think Ben Johnson in Chicago, I think what they did with Clint Kubiak up in Seattle, I actually think Brian Schottenheimer did a nice job there in Dallas as well. But I think there's a lot more D coordinators in these complex defenses. And I don't really think the quarterback plays all that hot nowadays. I just don't think these guys are as great readers. And that's why I think the guy Hurts gets away with it. Because you know why? You don't have to be Joe Montana anymore. You don't have to be Dan Marino because you don't have those complex offensive systems any longer. You need a dual threat guy to combat those D coordinators. If you can't run today, okay, your chances are limited because of free agency. Where did you lose most of your guys in free agency? In the O-line. Retirement, O-line, right? I mean, so that's where your what the biggest group of millionaires on any football team is in the offensive line. Mm-hmm. So when free agency comes, it usually hits the offensive line. And I'll leave you with this last one here, Philly. Of the 2025 season, I told Xander this. one of the things that you really got to come away with going, holy crap. Dude, your offensive line went from the best in the NFL Super Bowl era to being less than the top 10 team. I mean, you got a lot of work to do in the offseason to figure that thing out.
I agree with you. I firmly believe that to have that kind of drop off, I don't think you had a healthy center. I watched Juergens. He holds up for like a second and then he's got to let the guy go. I don't think he's been playing healthy, and I don't think Dickerson's been healthy most of the year. But I agree. I think early you go get yourself a right guard. Maybe you get yourself another center. I think you need to retool that line.
Guys, I appreciate you. I will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you guys.
Philly.500, and that is my friend Mark Holmes. Yeah, that's the one thing I take away, man. I take away that you, in the 2025 season, I think the one thing you come out of it, you're like, if you're Howie Roseman, you got a lot of work to do in that O-line. I mean, there's a ton of work to do. All right, let me pay some bills here. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all the world, let alone America here, is Morgan & Morgan. If you've ever been hurt or injured on the job, guys, these are the people that you go to. I've known these folks for over 25 years.
Well, that's it. I've had my ass kicked again, and the Cowboys are the big joke. But maybe, just maybe, one of these years we'll get the final laugh. I appreciate everybody tuning in. What we hope for is that the San Francisco 49ers kick the Eagles' teeth in, and I think I need to go take a shower right now, just saying that. As always, you ain't got to go home, but we got to get out of here, and we'll see you soon.
I can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.